Hey everyone, I see everyone filtering in. We're gonna wait a few minutes just to make sure we can get over any hurdles with Zoom. In the meantime, where's everyone tuning in from? My complexion may not be able to tell it, but I'm in sunny South Florida. The Irish and Polish just runs a little too deep for that sun to be able to make an effect. All right, we got about 10 folks coming in. Apparently the chat is disabled. I just received that message. So the resounding silence is less awkward. Thank you.
We'll look into that, Paul. Give us a second.
Thank you. Give it another minute or two.
There, the chat should be open now.
Okay. Perfect. Oh, New Jersey. Hello, New Jersey. The Garden State. California. Oh, jeez. We're going to address California at some point because I know you guys' payment structure is for down payments isn't great. So that's something for you. I see you, Steve. We have a meeting later today. See you lurking there. All right. So we're going to jump into it, folks. So overall, one-click payments. Thank you for coming. This is the first lunch and learn that we've done. Uh, Apologize for any hiccups along the way, but we plan on having more of these just to kind of highlight some of the new features we have coming out as they come out and also see how we can best help you guys as a business. So without further ado, appreciate everyone coming again. The big thing with one-click payments is that it's a way to get your payments faster and more securely. We're going to cover why traditional payment methods often fall short, the advantages of digital payments, and how you can start accepting digital payments today, or at least one business. The first part of the presentation, I'm going to be walking you through some of these key points, and then we'll open up the floor to some questions. Ashley and John are also available to help kind of field some of those questions, but we'll go through them in more detail at the end of the presentation. Hopefully, the presentation answers most of the stuff. So for starters, the main reason traditional payments fall short is because of delays and inefficiencies. There's plenty of areas of your business I'm sure you've looked at where you're trying to shore up any gaps or delays. This is a big one where it's an area of opportunity just to be a little bit more efficient and save time with your sales team. Paper checks can often take days to process and are easily lost or misplaced. Customer hands you a check, maybe it slides between the seats, gets ripped, gets torn, it bounces. Any number of things can happen there. And by taking payments digitally, you lose a lot of points of failure in that process. One of the scariest things I hear is when people say that they're manually writing down credit card information. It poses a number of security risks and it increases human error. God forbid a disgruntled sales rep walks away with a bunch of scraps of paper with their customer's information on. At the very least, you look a little less than professional if you have to clarify what their actual credit card number is because you wrote it down wrong in the home. Is that a 4? Is that an 8? I don't know. Johnny has terrible handwriting. So following up with unpaid invoices also takes time away from what you want to do as a business. It'll impact your cash flow and productivity. It's much easier to keep track of these transactions if they're all in one centralized system. Customers also these days, they just flat out prefer digital solutions. You're with one click right now because paper is going away. A digital solution is the future, one way or another, and it's more convenient, it's more secure. And if something is convenient, frankly, it's just more likely to get done. So with OCC payments, you can collect credit card and ACH while in the home or from the comfort of your office. Now, a new feature that we also came out with primarily is being able to secure that payment information for future transactions. We have several California contractors out there, and apparently one of the main laws is you can only collect $1,000 for that initial down payment. I think I can speak for most of the contractors we work with. $1,000 is not a significant percentage of what the job will actually be. But if someone is willing to save their credit card information, you can charge that initial down payment, save it going forward, and then you can collect whatever payment structure makes sense for your business. But that means that information is saved, it's tracked securely, and you don't have to keep asking for it. Now, whether you or the customer are using a mobile device or tablet or desktop, all of that information for both parties can be sent and received. I'm going to break into a slide presentation specifically to demo this part of it. So pardon this transition. It's just not the cleanest way to do it. Wow. Okay. So let me pull. Okay. Okay. Just to confirm, my people in the back, this screen is being shared now. We use Google Meetings. I apologize. Okay. Perfect. So this is what it'll look like within the system. You would click the Make Payment button. You have these three options: on-screen, email, or text for saving the method. If you're on screen, you're likely in the home with the customer and you're just collecting maybe that initial down payment right then. Email or text, this part right here, pretty straightforward. Email or text, you'll get the option to put in that information, or saving the payment method as previously mentioned. So we're just going to do the on-screen. So this part right here, you'll see, all right, this is my customer's information. This is the address and billing information. Okay. I'll click next. Maybe this is just for the sales reps out there. I got to call attention to it. Make sure this number is correct. Measure twice, cut once. Put in the correct credit card information. You can also save the payment at this point. And that's all there is to it. All right, so let me switch back to the slideshow. All right. So yeah, that being said, a few different options available to you, and that's how it's actually going to look like in the system. And for whatever reason, if you don't want to grant the permission to save the credit card information, or you only want them doing email or text or only doing on screen, we're able to change those permissions to make sure that however you want to run your business, they don't get to circumvent that in some. All right. So the big thing, as I kind of called out a little bit earlier, is convenience. We know that customers expect flexibility when paying for their services. Uh, there's a little bit of entitlement there. They're paying you. You know, you're doing a job for them. They want to make sure, you know, if something's easier for them, they're going to take that route. But you want to have certain standards. So OCC payments allows you to send a secure payment link via text or email. That was one of the options I showed you there. Um, your customer is probably on their phone maybe half the day. And personally, I check my email on a regular basis, but I've lost emails from other companies. Um, things go to spam, things get blocked, and Gmail is truthfully one of the better internet service providers or email service providers, I should say. If something gets lost in an email, maybe it doesn't get paid. However, if someone has their phone in front of them and you send a text, it's much more likely that they're going to see that text and realize, oh, if I don't pay this, maybe the materials don't show up at my house tomorrow. If you don't close in the home also, it's much less likely that the deal goes. There's probably proposals languishing in someone's inbox right now. And if you had the ability to say, hey, where's your credit card information? Let's get the down payment. Let's get the job going. Maybe that job happens, whereas the follow up via email just doesn't get it done. The convenience of being able to close a customer right there is huge. And the goal is to make the process of them paying you as low friction as possible. So there's a few different ways to get that done, all of which doesn't necessarily require your sales rep to drive back out to their house, maybe watch them fill out a paper check, bring that back to the office. Convenience is key here. You also have the ability to embed payment links directly into invoices. This might on its own save you a few uncomfortable phone calls around the fact that you need to get paid for the work you're doing. Having the information, the ability to pay right then and there, again, convenience, low friction, make sure that you get paid on time and you can actually order the materials, because we all know that there's what customer paying is just step one. If you simplify your sales process, you free up more time to do the quality work you built your business on and spend less time focusing on the finances, because the finances are taking care of themselves. And if you do have to dig into it, it's very clear where they're at. So first and foremost, I have to say a better cash flow, getting paid faster, ideally on the spot, and not chasing down payments. That on its own is going to free up your time to, I don't know if you're physically doing the labor, but if you are, you have to build some jobs, you have to move around. Getting paid on the spot is huge. Less admin work. I suspect some of the people in the chat are our office staff in particular. Having everything in one system and being able to show your boss, hey, this is where it's at. These are the things that are unpaid or paid, and they have access to it too. Adds transparency and makes your job easier. Now, a lot of times we have the folks that are like a one-man show. You didn't get into this business to manage your manage a finance platform or QuickBooks. You probably learned it on the job, but if you did hire someone, you also get to see transparently what they're doing, who needs to be followed up with, and you can just manage your business better. Now, the security and reliability is paramount as far as transactions are concerned these days. PCI compliance has some very real laws and consequences around mishandling important customer information. If you securely save that information once, you don't have to ask the customer a second time, and you can charge the card as agreed upon. PCI compliance, I recommend everyone looks into it a little bit further and reads up on it. It's all centered around basically penalizing you per transaction that you mishandled in order to hopefully reduce some identity fraud around the customer's information. All right, so how do you guys start using OCC payments? So for the most part, you have to be an org admin. If you're not an org admin, get with your org admin and they'll be able to assist you with it. You'll then go to the integrations tab within the tool and you'll see the OCC payments icon there. Right here, integrations. You'll complete a quick application. It's going to ask you some stuff about processing, like your current processing and whatnot, but you'll fill out that application and it takes about 1 or 2 business days to get approved. But there's no setup fees or additional service charges in getting signed up. We also currently have a promotion, which we're running, that if you sign up before March 31st and you process over $75,000 through OCC payments in the first 3 months, you'll receive 2 free users for 3 months. So maybe depending on your size of your organization, that just might mean you don't pay for 3 months. But if anyone has any questions surrounding that promotion, by all means, let us know. And at this point, we'll open up the floor to questions. Okay, let's see here. Now, see, is there any questions that I'm missing in the chat currently? Oh, look at that. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm very new to, I've
Yep.
joined Zoom meetings. I'm looking at, there's the pop-up.
Ashley answered a number of the questions, but it looked like Jenny just came in with another question. Are you able to see that, Paul?
I did until I misclicked on something. Full disclosure. So let me see here. Yep. So Jenny had, we have a financing options for our clients. Can this be connected to OCC payments, especially for collecting progress payments? So as far as the financing options are concerned, Ashley is typing an answer. That's gotta love Zoom. I'm not entirely sure how that would be folded in, full disclosure.
Yeah, so and maybe we can if you want to reach out to if there's any questions here that are kind of really niche, you guys are more than welcome to reach out to payments@oneclickcontractor.com and we can kind of get into specifics on your account. In terms of financing, I don't think that this would be applicable because you're typically getting paid from the lender. Whereas this would be consumer payments paying you if at any point if you're taking a deposit before the lender steps in or anything like that. But it would, from what I understand, if I'm understanding correctly, it would not take place during financing because you're getting paid directly from the lender into your bank account.
Yeah, so when you're going through and you're building on an estimate, there's that section on the payment terms where it's like what is being financed and what isn't. So there's a checkbox on each part of that payment term. I suspect if you were collecting down payment that wasn't financed, you would collect it through OCC payments, and then the rest, yeah, would be through the finance. All right. And I see Paul's question. How quickly are funds deposited? Did it just disappear?
Sorry, I'm answering them.
Yeah, you're answering them. Okay. I'm sorry. So how quickly are funds deposited? Actually, am I correct in saying 3 to 5 business days?
3 to 4 business days for ACH, next day for credit card. Yep.
Gotcha. All right, perfect. Amber is, I'm sorry, Ali, I don't mind putting it back on the slide 1. But there is going to be a recording going out to you as well. So for this webinar that you joined. How much does it cost? Sorry, this is from Amber. I missed that last piece. We take 4 payments from start to finish. I believe it's starting at a 3% flat rate for credit card payments. In ACH, let me double check. It does depend a little bit on your processing, but Ashley, what was the ACH rate?
We're at 0.5% for ACH.
Gotcha. Amber, there's also no monthly cost. It's just per transaction. Jennifer, yep, 3% for credit card payment. It's live. I promise the next time we're gonna get better at this. So
Paul, Adrian had a question in the chat. What are the fees for
Fees for
credit
credit
cards for ACH trends?
okay. Yeah, so credit card was 3%, and then Ashley said ACH was 0.5%.
Yep, that's right. Both of those are flat. Well, credit card is a flat rate, so it doesn't depend on card mix. It's just a flat 3%.
Okay. Yes, Ellie, I believe that's for American Express as well. Oh, and James, it was 3% for credit cards, 0.5% for the ACH payments. So for the most part, if there's any like specific situations with your guys' account, we can dig into some of the details of it, but those are the rates currently out. Yeah.
If you have any questions, again, specifically to like your circumstance or situation, we're more than happy to dig in on an individual basis and make sure that the solution works for you. Obviously, I know in the chat can be a little bit hard to kind of get into the nuance in what you're doing day to day. So if you have any questions regarding this, please reach out to our support line. You guys all know it. And if not, you can send an email to, again, payments@oneclickcontractor.com, and someone will reach out to you to kind of dig in with you directly and make sure that we have everything set up.
All right. So I think we scheduled out an hour for this, but I don't believe it'll take a full hour. If there's any other final questions, otherwise I'll cut you guys loose.
Paul, it looks like James had one follow-up question. Is there an option to do direct deposit through e-check?
So I believe taking down the credit card, taking down the banking information is available, but this I think would be covered under ACH. So like when we're saying ACH, it's essentially an e-check. and just because it was requested. Slide one. This slide basically is outlining that it's some of the initial talking points about why you want it and the fact that it's already kind of built into one click. So, all right, folks. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your patience with the matter. And if you have any questions, by all means, payments@oneclickcontractor.com, or you can call into our support line and we'll follow up with you and make sure we get all the right answers for your specific account. All right.